The read right now from the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who joins us right now. Governor, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you, Neil.
You know, obviously, you were saying throughout this whole thing, we got to be vigilant. We got to be, watchful of what's happening around us. Do you still, adhere to that? Because a lot of people are going to be releasing, okay, all this is behind us. Of course, you got to worry about copycats. You got to worry about other bombs that might be out there already. So what's the latest?
Well, the latest is the main person in charge of this is now deceased, and hence the main catalyst for concern has now been eliminated. But as you point out, one thing we have not yet been able to finally determine, and that is whether or not there are any other bombs out there that were pre-released before the killer died himself. And so that may take a day or two before we can finally put that to rest. Second is, even though we have not yet identified any other suspects or accomplices, we have not been able to conclusively rule out the fact that there may be somebody else involved in this whole process. And so it is very important, especially for people around the greater Austin area, to remain vigilant. If they have any packages they believe are suspect, we urge them to contact the Austin Police Department. We have screeners and scanners and x-ray machines that will enable us to determine whether or not a package they may have may contain explosives or not. We do not want anybody else to be harmed in any way whatsoever, and so we want to do everything we can to protect and secure the safety of everyone across the entire region.
I'm wondering as well, Governor, the images that we have now of this guy in disguise dropping off a package at a facility. Do we know whether that was a package that ultimately did detonate, where it detonated? Do we know anything about that?
Well, on that particular one, I think that one did not detonate. There were several he took in there, and we have multiple slices of information that we were able to cobble together who this was. For one, as you kind of heard, we were following his cell phone usage. For another, we did have these images from him at a FedEx store. For another, we had information about him appearing, and I think it was at a Home Depot to purchase some materials, as well as other slices of information that we had. And it was the aggregation of all that information together, aggregated by federal, state, and local law enforcement working collaboratively that enabled us to piece this puzzle together.
Do we know whether Mark Condit, Governor, was deliberately targeting the Austin area, and that, at least initially when it appeared that it was racially motivated or that he was going after an African-American and a Hispanic, at least the early read? Do we know whether that was indeed the case?
Well, I would say that as police and law enforcement are going through his house and going through his social media and everything they can, it would be premature to arrive at any final conclusions. However, we can make some deductions based upon what we have observed already, and that is, it does appear that it was not racially motivated because it was, African American, Hispanic, Anglo, who were all impacted by this. But we will learn more when we gather specific information about whose names he had targeted, why he had targeted certain people, and as we continue to search for his motives. This is going to be very important for us, for one, to analyze why he did what he did, but it'll also be important as we always put together information that will help us prepare for the next potential experience like this.
If you don't mind my switching gears, I'm relieved as you are, Governor, that the perpetrator behind this is gone. But on economic matters, we've been following what's been happening in California, sir, with a number of people leaving that state for better, greener environments, low-tax environments like Texas. And I wonder whether you find that to be accelerating now. The latest numbers out of California show that 163,000 have left the state, that it's escalating, particularly among, and this was a surprise to me, Governor, lower income groups who typically you would think it would be a lateral move for them because they're not in the high tax bracket or the highest tax bracket in the state. What do you think?
Well, Neil, it is in fact accelerating. Texas continues to be the leading state that people move to from other states, and California continues to be the top state that people are moving from. And I can explain to you the reason why you're seeing people at all income levels from California moving to Texas as well as to other states. On the high income level, it would be in part because of the new federal tax law. At the non-high income level, listen, from things that you and others have reported, you see a state that's in kind of quasi-chaos out there with regard to the homelessness, with regard to the drug usage, with regard to crime, and with regard to the lack of enforcement of laws against people who may be here illegally, may have committed crimes. People want to get away from danger, and they want to get into a state like Texas that has lower taxes, more reasonable regulations, more economic opportunity because of the brand of government that we have. People from California, as well as people from across the United States, realize that Texas is the kind of place that is the land of opportunity. You can come here from anywhere, start something here, grow, create more income, raise a family in a terrific state. And so we are finding more people coming into our state at all income strata.
You know, I think the trick with Texas seems to be that your legislators are in sessions so little. They're not there that much.
Right. Well, we are in session 140 days every 2 years. We're working on changing that, so we will be in session 2 days every 140 years.
Well, keep me updated on that, Governor. It is amazing. Thank you very much.